that's been played is by Gary Innes, called The Small Miracle, and that's been donated by Nicola Grant, who's a midwife at Regmore Hospital in Inverness. Hello, my name's Sara Fitzsimmons. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of the SiMBA charity, and tonight I'd like to welcome to our virtual wave of light. SiMBA's been going since 2005, and it was really when I got some friends together to say, would they help me with some fundraising for memory boxes. I worked in a hospital in Edinburgh as a midwife, and in that hospital we had very little that we could give bereaved families. We had a brown envelope, and in that brown envelope we used to place some ink pads, hand and footprints, a certificate with the baby's name, and some Polaroid pictures. There was very little, but there was very little time spent with babies either. Sometimes even the babies were taken away and then brought into the room later on once the parents had time to decide whether they were going to see their baby or not. I'm so glad that time's changed. The idea behind the memory box was my son, who's now 22, when he was a baby, when he was inside my tummy, I made a memory box for him. It's just something I wanted to do. And I gathered all the items. I had his scan picture, and I had all the little mementos that I'd kept for him, his first pair of socks, and all the things I thought were really precious to me and I wanted to show him. And when I was looking after bereaved families in my care, they never had something like a memory box, and it just felt so wrong that I had something so precious for my son who was going to grow up with me, and these families had nothing but a brown envelope. So when I approached my friends in 2005, I just said, look, I want to do some fundraising. I want to have some memory boxes for the hospital where I work as a midwife. And they, straight away, it was no doubt they were up for that. And we gathered together and we raised enough funds to buy our first 100 memory boxes. And we thought that was it. That was going to do us a while, and that we would be able to carry on and do some fundraising and buy some more memory boxes when we needed to. And then friends round about hospitals, colleagues that I knew, they came along and says, can we have some more memory boxes? And it was right, we're going to do some more fundraising. And we never stopped. We've never stopped since that day. We've kept on going, and it's been so important to keep on going. Our title is We Respond to the Needs of Those Affected by the Loss of a Baby, and that's what we've continued to do since 2005. The story goes back way before then though. It goes back for me as a midwife in 1995. I was a student midwife at the time. I was due to qualify, and I got taken into a room, which was very, very unusual for a student midwife at that stage. And I got taken into the room with this amazing midwife called Dan Jack, and she said, have you ever looked after anybody whose baby has died? And I was like, no, I haven't. And she says, look, come with me and I'll guide you through this. And she did, and she did that so beautifully. And I hadn't looked after anybody, but she just treated that person exactly how I would want that person to be treated, how I would want somebody I knew to be treated, and how I would want anybody in labour to be treated. And when that beautiful girl was born, I can still remember how she looks now. And she delivered her up into her tummy, and we put a blanket over her, and that mum was just encouraged to cuddle her baby. She cuddled her in, and it was just amazing to watch, and it was just so beautiful and perfect. And I can remember telling that mum how beautiful her baby was. But sadly, everybody wasn't having the same care and treatment at the time. The care was there, but actually when somebody had a stillbirth, the baby was often taken out of the room and then brought back in later on to see for a little while, and there's few opportunities. But if somebody said, no, I don't want to see my baby, it was often like, okay, they don't want to see the baby, rather than that they don't know, they didn't have the opportunity so much to ask questions. And look how far we have come with bereavement care, and that is through listening to bereaved families and listening to what you want and what you want other people in your same situation as you to have. And I seen just a couple of weeks ago when we saw all over the internet and the social media, when we saw a famous couple, Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, when their baby was stillborn. And there was so much speculation, there was so much people saying it was a taboo subject, and people saying, why do they want to show their pictures? Why do they want to do this on social media where it's public? And sadly, we're always going to get people like that. And I've come to realise that not everybody can accept what we accept. But what I did see, and I've seen it more than I've ever seen it before, we saw bereaved families, you saw that virtual hug coming around the world and saying, this is okay, this is what they want to do. And that was so important for us to see. We all came together, we all surrounded each other, and we all reached out to each other. And that is one really, really positive side of social media. We can't change the views on some people, and perhaps in time we can. But what we've got to do is look at our views and how our support went out to that couple. But we're doing that to any bereaved family. We're looking after them, we're looking out for them, and we're saying, we are here when you need us. And that's what's changed way back since 2005 and 1995. That's changed, and we're more open, and we're speaking, and we're talking. And we're being kind, and we're being sympathetic, we're being empathetic, we're showing support, and we're being warm. And we're doing that today, and we're doing that every day. And that's what we, as SiMBA, and you, as all the bereaved families, will reach out to each and every one of us and support. And tonight, that's all about coming together again. It's about lighting our candle for all our babies, for your baby, for all the babies, for the grandparents, the aunties, the children, the family members, the colleagues, everybody out there, the midwives, the nurses, anybody who they are, anybody out there who just wants to light a candle. You light a candle at 7 o'clock tonight. You let that candle burn for 1 hour, and that is the International Wave of Light. The light goes right around the world for 24 hours and it comes back again, and it's just that feeling of togetherness. So thank you for joining us at tonight's Wave of Light. It's so important that we're all together. I'm now going to hand you over to Stuart Irving, and he's in St Catherine's, Argyll, where we normally hold our Edinburgh Wave of Light.
In 1988, President Ronald Reagan designated October as Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month in the United States. With this, the Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness movement began. The inaugural Baby Loss Awareness Day in the UK was held on the 15th of October 2002, and SiMBA held their first Wave of Light event in 2005. Baby Loss Awareness Week now runs every year from the 9th to the 15th of October and culminates in the global Wave of Light, where we invite you, wherever you are, at 7 p.m. on the 15th of October to light a candle in memory of your baby. For some, over the past few years, this backdrop behind me has become a familiar scene. It has been used recently for the annual Wave of Light service, where families and individuals have shared alongside one another and online to mark Baby Loss Awareness Week. The building here at St Catherine's, Argyll would have otherwise been filled with many people on this evening, and there would have been many more candles on the table here. Like so many things though, our plans have changed. I certainly think though that it is fair to say that our resolve has not. We still resolve to remember, to raise awareness, and to welcome others who have begun a journey that they would have never expected or anticipated. We resolve to continue the wave of life. Though we are not physically present with one another, we certainly echo our togetherness in this time where we learn new patterns, new milestones, new challenges and new triumphs. So let us embrace our togetherness as we begin a wave of light.
you were taken far too soon. And maybe the sky needs a special star to live beside the moon. You were all that we wanted. But can this life be so cruel? I can't believe there's things you're gonna miss, like your first day at school. I wish that you were here to dry away my tears. So fly high, little darling. All your pain is gone. Don't think for a moment that your memory won't live on, 'cause you showed us how easy it is to really feel love. And I hope that you're proud when you look down from above. You were part of two families who miss you every day, but we try to keep you nearer in our own special way. You live on in your brother. He'll know who you are, and he can always see you when we see that brightest star. I wish that you were here to dry away my tears. So fly high, little darling. All your pain is gone. Don't think for a moment that your memory won't live on, 'cause you showed us how easy it is to really feel love. And I hope that you're proud when you look down from above. Although you're not with us, that doesn't mean your name won't be spoken, or face won't be seen. So good night, my angel. There's not a lot left to say, but Imogen, we love you. We'll see you again one sunny day. I wish that you were here to dry away my tears. So fly high, little darling. your pain is gone. Don't think for a moment that your memory won't live on. 'Cause you showed us how easy it is to really feel lost. And I hope that you're proud when you look down. You look down from above.
I'd like to say thank you to Eleanor Evans and Mark McCafferty for playing their own music, their own beautiful music that they've both written. Eleanor for SiMBA for tonight, and Mark in memory of his daughter Imogen that he so proudly shared with us tonight. And next I'm going to welcome Clare Tully. She's the chair of our SiMBA board, and she's going to let you know more about the work of SiMBA.
Hello, I am Clare Tully and I am a bereaved parent. My husband and I lost our baby boy in June last year, and it was SiMBA who gave us hope in our darkest time. I am now the chair of the Board of Trustees of SiMBA, and on behalf of the board I would like to thank our team, so ably led by Sara, our volunteers, our supporters and our patrons, who've been incredible, but even more so during COVID-19. At the start of lockdown, our team thought, what could they do for the SiMBA family? And they have created the SiMBA Safe Spaces. These are virtual online support groups led by our volunteer facilitators that provide a safe space for us to come together. Being a bereaved parent is a club that nobody wants to join, but once a member, being with fellow bereaved parents offers comfort of people who truly understand and can be there alongside us. There has been so much that has come from these support groups. Most notably, we've been able to reach so many more families than we ever could have imagined, and some really, really strong friendships have been formed. Our trees of tranquility, the beautiful copper structures with leaves to represent each of our babies, continue to be cared for, and I understand how tough it has been not being able to visit, but please be assured that these are being well looked after, and as soon as it is safe to do so, we will let you know when you can return. These are such special, unique to SiMBA trees of tranquility, where it gives us a chance to visit our trees and reflect on our hopes and dreams of what could have been, and remember the joy of when we were carrying our babies. We were so disappointed not to be able to do the butterfly release in 2020. However, we took great comfort in knowing that in 2019 we were able to support over 1,000 families. We look forward to coming back together as the SiMBA family for the butterfly release in 2021. And as long as it is able to go ahead, I can assure you our team will make that happen. Our family rooms continue to be there to give families the space in which to be able to say farewell and to create memories with their precious babies. SiMBA is 15 this year. They've been supporting bereaved families for 15 years. And in order to acknowledge this, the team have created a campaign called Keep the Candle Burning. Keep the Candle Burning is a way in which we can all get involved to ensure that SiMBA can be here and continue to offer the vital support that it does for the next 15 years. You can get involved with Keep the Candle Burning by donating to our online campaign, or by participating in a new kind of challenge. This challenge is to recognise every day that SiMBA has been in existence. We are hoping that our SiMBA family, as a group, as a community, as a family, can cover 5,479 kilometres. That's 5,479 479 kilometres. The way that this will work is that there are places available in the Edinburgh Marathon Festival, which is taking place virtually, and you can choose your distance, and that distance will contribute to the overall figure of 5,479 kilometres. Please see our website for more information. We're so grateful for everything that everyone does for SiMBA, because it's what makes our vital work possible. The vital work which gives comfort to so many of us. It was Maya Angelou, the American civil rights activist and poet, who said, "Hope and fear cannot occupy the same space. Invite one to stay." Hope and fear cannot occupy the same space. Invite one to stay. SiMBA will always be there to give hope through our memory boxes, our trees of tranquility, our support groups, our wave of light events, our butterfly releases, and our family rooms. And please join me as we come together to support SiMBA through the Keep the Candle Burning. Keep the candle burning for the SiMBA family to continue to offer hope and support to so many as we honour our precious babies. Thank you.
And next we're going to hear a reading by Lindy, Cameron Saunders, "Oh Precious, Tiny, Sweet Little One."
Oh precious, tiny, sweet little one, you will always be to me. So perfect, pure and innocent, just as you were meant to be. We dreamed of you and your life and all that it would be. We waited and longed for you to come and join our family. We never had the chance to play, to laugh, to rock, to wiggle. We long to hold you, touch you now, and listen to you giggle. I'll always be your mother. He'll always be your dad. You'll always be our child, the child that we had. But now you're gone, but yet you're here. We sense you everywhere. You are our sorrow and our joy. There's love in every tear. Just know our love goes deep and strong. We'll forget you never. The child we had, but never had, and yet will have forever.
And here now is a message from our SiMBA ambassador, Lisa Hague.
Hi everyone, it's Lisa and I'm ambassador for SiMBA. I just wanted to say how deeply sorry we are that we've not been able to share with you all the hard work that we've done for the Princess Royal Maternity Hospital in Glasgow. It's your funding, it's your support and how much you give us that make these projects be able to come reality for families like ours. When we lost Lola, which is now nearly 13 years ago, we massively took for granted the fact that we got a family room for me and Chris when we delivered Lola, and had we have chosen to spend time with her afterwards. With all of my being, I just want to let you know that these are so important. We're so grateful for how much you support us, especially in the current climate. Please do continue to support us. It means so much to us and families who are yet to use these facilities. I'm sending you lots of love from my family. Keep safe, everybody. Thank you.
Christine Bevington has written many poems for SiMBA, for her Wave of Lights and for her Butterfly releases, and tonight she wrote a special poem for our virtual Wave of Light and she's going to read it out herself. So welcome to Christine.
Good evening, this is Christine Bevington and this is the poem I've written this year for our Wave of Light. 2020 has been a harsh year, isolation's left so many feeling low. So the wave of light this year is vital. Let's all have our candles aglow. Love is our united light this evening. Let it shine from the north, south, east and west. Shine our lights together for an hour and let the love in our hearts do the rest. The love given so heartfelt for each and every infant child tonight. Let our wave of light shine for them. Let every grieving home fill with its loving light. A candle for every daughter, a candle for every son. A wave of light around the world for each and every precious one. Thank you.
And we're now going to hear a message from our SiMBA patron, Gillian Smith.
I'm Gillian Smith, former director of the Royal College of Midwives in Scotland and one of the patrons of SiMBA. And I'm here with the rest of you tonight, and I've lit my candle, as many of my midwifery colleagues across the world will have done. They will have started in the very early hours of the morning in New Zealand, and it will have worked its way and will be still working its way across the world. Now, you don't need to light a candle to remember your baby or to remember your loss. That will be with you all the time. But it is a nice way of marking it and marking their memory. When many midwives go into the profession, they think about the birth process. Seldom of them probably give much thought to what happens during a loss. And I always think it's a good midwife who can take a family through a terrible time like that and to create some memories for them, because that's the most important thing, is to create the memories, because you have such little time with your baby. And thankfully, because of the trees of tranquility, the butterfly releases, which we haven't been able to do this year, the memory boxes, which are so beautiful and so important to many of you, then it is helpful to create those memories. And the work that SiMBA does is really, really helpful in encouraging midwives to be able to create those memories in the most appropriate way, and to support parents at this very difficult time. Now, because of the year that we've had, it has been a very difficult time for loss and a very difficult time for grieving and for having that support during your loss with your families and with the wider community. Because although it affects you primarily, it affects your parents, your grandparents and the wider community. A child is born into the community. And it is really important. And I think that the memories that you can create will be helped by the midwives, the professionals, and how they support you. Do not be afraid to ask them questions, and do not be afraid to say your child's name. Now, with our candles, take your love and keep that love safe. Good night.
Thank you to Robert Chapman, bereaved parent and SiMBA support group facilitator, for sharing with us his words tonight.
Hi there, my name is Robert Chapman and I'm a volunteer facilitator with SiMBA's support group network, and I've been asked to say a couple of things about grief, and in particular father's grief, for the guys at SiMBA for tonight's virtual Wave of Light. I've thought about this for a wee bit and I've actually struggled with it, to be honest. And it hit me that father's grief, really in essence, if we want to break taboos and stigmas, father's grief's like anybody else's grief. You know, we all cry, we all feel that horrible feeling that when this has happened, it's the end of the world, it's a nightmare. As a man, I feel that just as much as a woman, but I can never, recognising that I can never feel the physical attachment or go through the physical attachment that my partner went through with her giving birth to her daughter. I know that what that was like to watch my best friend go through absolute hell, and aye, that was hard. It wasn't as hard as she had to go through. She went through, in my mind, the worst of it, but I know that was like watching her go through that. You know, it was like us as a team trying to tackle grief and how we felt, and trying to recognise our daughter as it seemed like the world around us fell apart. And as I am 5 years in the line for my daughter passing away, it still feels like looking back that we have that wee twinge and that wee numb feeling sometimes, but at the same time proud. I'm really proud actually of what my partner done and the legacy that my daughter has left behind. But father's grief, it's like any other grief. We care. Might not show it sometimes as guys, we might seem a wee bit lackadaisical, or maybe seem like we're not listening, or seem like we don't care, or a wee bit quiet, but we care. We've just got different ways of showing it. But for me tonight, and like a lot of other guys, I maybe didn't understand the relevance of what the Wave of Light actually was until my partner had us do one in the house just the day after our daughter passed away, which would have been the 14th of October 2015, and the Wave of Light being the 15th of October the next day, and we lit a candle. It wasn't until the next year when we actually went to the Wave of Light that I personally understood the relevance. So tonight I've lit my candle, and I've lit it in memory of Sophia Chapman. She'll be 5 this week, and I'm going to keep that candle burning. I'm going to say her name, and even on 5 years down the line, I still have my wee twinges of grief, because that'll never go away from me. But at the same time, I can light the candle and keep remembering her. So thank you for asking me to speak. I know it's short and sweet, but all I want to say is, as a land, we feel wee bits of that too, and we do care. No, we all want to keep our candles burning for that, so thank you.
I'd like to thank all our wonderful speakers, our singers, those who played music, and our patrons in our SiMBA chair. We're all coming together tonight and speaking in our virtual Wave of Light. It's been such a lovely service, and it's been so lovely that we've been able to bring everybody together so you can light your candle at 7 o'clock. Tonight I've lit 15 candles. It's one for every year that SiMBA's been running. But these 15 candles represent so many babies that we've been able to honour by having our memory boxes. We've been able to honour by having support, being honoured to be able to say those babies' names, and we've been able to help and support the parents and the family members just by having somebody here and being able to say, you can say your baby's name, you can reach out for support. We're no longer a taboo subject, we're a together subject. We're about being kind, and we're about reaching out to each other in their time of need. Baby loss, sadly, it's a club, as Clare said, it's a club that nobody would want to join. Why would you want to join this kind of club? You wouldn't, but you're found in this club because of your circumstances. And once you're in this club, you see the most amazing people coming together and supporting and reaching out and just understanding that losing a baby is about every single day. It's about the rest of your life. There's ups, there's downs, there's tears, there's smiles, there's laughter, there's life as we now know it. But that life is about us all coming together. It's about that big virtual hug that I hope you can feel right now. So thank you everybody once again, and we really hope to see you all soon.